Kendrick Lamar had Drake in a tight spot. The world had already been introduced to Euphoria, a track filled with sharpness and intensity, but according to Terrence "Punch" Henderson, the president of Top Dog Entertainment, we didn't hear the complete onslaught. The version Kendrick released was the toned-down one, the calmer iteration, which omitted some of the most damaging lines. That fact alone should alarm anyone observing this rivalry. Let's be honest, Euphoria already made waves in the hip-hop scene. Fans were quoting it, analyzing it line by line, and breaking down its intricate meanings. Even in its released form, it was powerful enough to leave fans, critics, and fellow rappers questioning how Drake could possibly respond. But now we know there was more to it. There were harsher lines and deeper cuts that Kendrick chose to withhold. Hello everyone, welcome to Celebrity Cookies. Please don't forget to subscribe and comment your thoughts about the video. I hope to see you in our next cookies. Why? That's the burning question. If you're in a lyrical conflict and possess the means to decisively end it, why would you hold back? In a candid interview with Curtis King, Punch explained the rationale. It wasn't about showing mercy or being afraid. It was about foresight, maturity, and a focus on legacy. Kendrick isn't just trying to win a battle, he's aiming to create a legacy that endures beyond the moment. There was definitely a longer version than what was released, Punch confessed. A lot of material didn't make the cut. Just think about that for a moment. Kendrick Lamar, a masterful lyricist who rarely misses, created a version of Euphoria that was even more intense than what we heard, and then chose to hold it back. The reason for this restraint speaks volumes. Punch explained, there were certain elements that I didn't believe would be beneficial in the long run, so I shared my thoughts with him, and he removed some of those lines. That single choice altered everything. It indicates that Kendrick isn't merely focused on defeating Drake in the moment, he's considering the aftermath. He's contemplating the ripple effects and the broader implications. This is what distinguishes Kendrick from the average rapper in the industry. Let's rewind a bit. The tension between Kendrick and Drake didn't begin with Euphoria. It has been simmering for years, filled with subliminal messages, interviews, and subtle jabs, a sort of Cold War that fans have followed with the fervor of conspiracy theorists. When Drake finally took his shot with push-ups, everyone held their breath. Would Kendrick respond? Would he ignore it? Was this even a real rivalry? Kendrick remained unfazed. He waited and listened before releasing Euphoria. It wasn't a hasty reaction. It was a deliberate move, akin to watching a master chef meticulously prepare a dish he knew would astonish everyone. But here's the astonishing part. The version we received wasn't even the most intense one. According to Punch, Kendrick had more material ready but chose to hold back. While the ongoing feud is entertaining for fans, Kendrick has boundaries he won't cross. Punch, as both a mentor and an executive, understands that sometimes the best strategy is not to unleash chaos but to apply pressure strategically. So what was left out? That's the big question. Did Kendrick mention lawsuits, industry ostracism, or personal scandals that remain hidden? We may never find out, and perhaps that's intentional. Punch's interview offers more than just insight into Kendrick's creative process. It reveals a strategic approach. In hip-hop, there's a distinction between rapping and fighting, and Kendrick aims to make every line impactful rather than throwing reckless punches. Punch continued to share his thoughts, specifically pointing out where he believed Drake faltered. He noted that Drake's mockery of West Coast culture was a significant misstep. To me, it felt like a mockery, Punch stated. When you do that, you're going to unite the people. If there was any division before, that action brings everyone together. This isn't an exaggeration, it's a historical reality. Drake might have underestimated the situation he was entering. This conflict goes beyond Kendrick and Drake. It's about Compton, legacy, and a region that has produced icons like NWA, Tupac, and Snoop Dogg, with Kendrick as its contemporary voice. By mocking that legacy, Drake inadvertently united the entire West Coast. But Kendrick didn't just leverage geography, he also tapped into psychology. Drake's promotional strategy created high expectations. He hinted at a red button moment, leading people to believe that what was coming would be devastating. However, when it finally arrived, the response was underwhelming. Family Matters and Push-Ups were released, and while both tracks had sharp lyrics, they didn't deliver the knockout blow fans anticipated. Punch observed this as well. I felt the same way about family matters as I did about push-ups. It's not enough. Why? Because fans weren't seeking gossip. They wanted something more impactful. In this genre, when a feud escalates, audiences expect the gloves to come off. Instead, Drake delivered punches that didn't quite land. Meanwhile, Kendrick was hard at work. When he returned, it was with a sense of control rather than desperation. Euphoria was precise and measured. He wasn't shouting but rather educating, breaking down Drake psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. And he did all this with a track that, according to Punch, had even more intensity stored away. Let's reflect on that. Euphoria, with its calm yet haunting brilliance, was the more restrained version. That in itself is poetic. In conflict, the most intimidating soldier isn't the loudest. It's the one who can convey a threat without raising their voice. As for Kendrick, he has been a quiet but formidable presence since Control, The Heart Part 4, and Alright. His focus isn't on chart-topping hits. He's pursuing greatness. His rivalry with Drake goes beyond just claiming the top spot. It's about demonstrating that he is fundamentally different. The notion of a longer version of Euphoria existing somewhere, perhaps on a studio drive or lost forever, adds to the mystique that hip-hop thrives on. It serves as a reminder that some of the most chilling tales are the ones that remain untold. This also highlights a different kind of strength, the ability to know you could harm someone and choosing not to. It's important not to confuse restraint with weakness. Kendrick isn't holding back out of uncertainty. He's doing so with a purpose. Punch is aware of this. He even suggested that Kendrick's deliberate silence in certain parts of the track was a strategic choice. It was super calculated, Punch stated. I won't claim it was everything, but most aspects were carefully considered. The term calculated keeps surfacing, and rightly so. It adds depth to this conflict. It's more than just a battle of words. It's a strategic game of chess, with Kendrick consistently demonstrating that he's thinking several moves ahead. Let's remember that Drake is no lightweight. He has ruled the charts for over 10 years and produced some of the most iconic songs of our time. However, in this particular arena, Kendrick has the advantage, not only because of his lyrical prowess but also due to his ability to know when to hold back. Punch's comments reinforce this idea. The most impactful lines are often the ones left unsaid. Perhaps that's what gives them their strength. Now, Drake has to contend with the reality that there's more to Kendrick's arsenal. That Kendrick had sharper lines ready to go, but chose not to unleash them. That psychological weight, it lingers in your mind. Fans will debate, and critics will discuss, but one thing is clear. Kendrick Lamar released a diss track that made waves in the culture, all while holding back his full potential. We may never hear those unreleased lines. They might emerge in the next chapter of this rivalry, or Kendrick might keep them to himself as a reminder of his restraint. Ultimately, this situation shows that Kendrick isn't just the superior rapper in this moment. He's the more strategic one, the more formidable one, the one who possesses the discipline to win without resorting to total destruction. In hip-hop, that kind of strength is rare. Anyone can throw punches, but only a true king knows when to refrain. And Kendrick Lamar? He has just shown the world that true power lies not only in what you express, but also in what you choose to withhold. Somewhere in a studio vault or a locked hard drive in TD's archives, the original Euphoria may be waiting, untouched, unheard, and potent. If Kendrick decides never to release it, that might be the ultimate display of strength. He didn't have to go all out to achieve victory. With just a smirk, a whisper, and some carefully chosen words, he had already succeeded. So when you listen to Euphoria next time, keep in mind that you're not hearing everything. You're only hearing what Kendrick chose to reveal. This makes the song more haunting than any lyrics he could have included. Sometimes, what remains unspoken carries more weight than anything you could shout. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.